Hello and welcome to Global Agri-Food Entrepreneurship 101. This is a new program that I've just completed, and it's a more condensed program compared to my previous coaching programs on agri-food entrepreneurship. And this is really one of those that's going to move you from idea to the final product and to the market. And we are doing this in a few weeks. If you commit the time that you need to commit, you're going to see that this is the perfect blueprint that's possibly been lacking in your agri-food system. So I want to know if any of this sounds familiar to you. Do you know that you want to build a business and you have an idea, but you simply do not know how to start? If that is the case, this is the program that's going to do for you. Maybe you're experiencing one of the serious issues, like you're struggling with sales, you want to scale, you want to get into the market, but you do not know how to. You want to start certification systems, and you're really stuck there. And you're sometimes maybe even seeing inferior products getting into the market better than yours. If this is you and if this resonates with you, this is the program that is going to do for you. So this roadmap, this blueprint called Global Agri-Food Entrepreneurship 101 will take you through a 9-week cycle in which you work with me once a week. We have one weekly call for 1.5 hours per week, and then you are going to do self-study during that week with very clear instructions, and we have 9 modules that are set up for you to be able to finish this work in reasonable time. So as I said, within 9 weeks, you will have learned basically the complete structure that allows you to start your own business and to scale. But most importantly, you're going to have access to me and my 27 years of experience in the agri-food industry. So what we will be looking at are tools for a winning business model. And this will help you to lay the foundation based on proven methods that have been tried before by several entrepreneurs, not only by myself. And that's the first foundation to know the tools that help you to start a successful business model. Next, we are going to look at your idea. Now, one of the things that many people sometimes come to me about, okay, I have an idea, but I'm not sure it will succeed. Let me tell you one thing. The moment an idea comes to your mind, you know that you can implement it. The only reason you're not implementing it is because maybe you're not aware of the mindset that takes you to that implementation or your ability to succeed. But don't worry about that. This is the reason why this program is here. So we are going to look at your worthy idea, your value proposition, and we shall validate and refine that idea for you and your unique offering for the market. And then based on that, we are going to build a very concrete, bankable business model and your business plan. And here, while we're working on your business model, we are not only writing the business plan, but we are also working on your financial model so that when you go to meet investors, you are actually ready with a complete financial model and you know how to explain what your return on investment is going to be. And another area here that is extremely important is compliance, registration, all the legal issues that are related to starting and scaling a business. Now, there's one part when you have to deal with the registration of your company in your law, in your area in your area of legislation, and the other part is also actually to get into the markets. Whether your product is meeting food safety and quality standards for the markets that you are going to be selling your products into, and that goes especially into labeling of products, which is another aspect that not many people know how to do, and all the documentation that you need to have in place in order to actually access those markets. So legal issues and compliance are an important part of succeeding in this business, and therefore I'll be helping you to navigate through the certifications and the regulations. Critical part of business is many people have some amount of money to start, and that's okay because you need to bootstrap your starting. No finances is possibly going to come in and just put in money for you before you have started your business. Yes, so indeed you need to bootstrap, but that is going to be the foundation for your preparation. So how you start, how you register your company is going to be critical for the entry of investors when you start to scale. Every business needs money. You may start small, but you will eventually need to scale, especially if you have the right foundations for your business. And this is where it becomes very, very important for you to understand what are investors looking for. What is the kind of finance you should be looking for? Should you be looking for debt? Should you be looking for equity, grants, crowdfunding? And that will pretty much depend on the business model that you set up. And I am really big in encouraging people to set up social enterprises, and also, especially now, climate change mitigation businesses. And those are the kind of businesses that are going to get a lot of funding in this period and era. Obviously, there's one thing setting your business, making all the investments, but how are you going to get it into the market? That is now the critical part. How do you actually move very quickly within a short period of time? You don't want your money to be stuck for over 6 months in an investment. It has to come back to you. How to present yourself. You've got to get your product ready, get in front of customers, whether that is national customers or international customers. You still need to make it happen in real time. And therefore, you need to have efficient systems in place that allow you to scale and actually get in front of customers. And you need to attend trade fairs, you need to make cold calls, you need to just present yourself out there in front of customers. This is not very easy for many people, but since I've been through that experience, I know what I'm talking about. So it's one of the areas where I'll be hand-holding you to do this activity clearly in a smooth way that also gives you the confidence that you need to get out there. Sharing your story is one of the key areas. People associate their food with stories. They love to hear about the product, about what the product is going to do for them. But I see more and more people are also keen on knowing how the product that they're consuming has been produced, is impacting on the environment, impacting on the people who produce it, how it is processed. You know, people need to know about avoiding the impact on the climate. So there's so many things that you need to actually incorporate in your business model, and it's part of sharing your story. Another thing, obviously, about sharing your story is visibility. You have to be visible, and therefore I teach you also strategies how to actually get your brand or your product or your company talked about by the media, by other publishers, who is basically not anybody else, that not yourself. So you need to get your product into trusted channels, to be interviewed by mainstream television, and to be interviewed by maybe in main webinars, so podcasts and so on. This is something that you must plan already at the beginning of your business, because it's what's going to give you visibility and ability to get into the market. Now, many entrepreneurs obviously start their businesses alone. That's okay to start on your own. But eventually you will need a team. You need people you can rely on. You're not going to be able to run it all by yourself. You need people to do the marketing, the sales, the sourcing, and a support team around you. So it's very critical how you choose the people who come into your team. I have had from experience, sometimes I employed, very highly qualified people, and then I realized that they were actually not aligned with the business. So it is very important to be able to judge and include into your business people who bring energy and bring creativity into the business, not people who just come there for the sake of being employed. This is really important. And I'll tell you a story here. When I started my business, I am in the diaspora. I live in Europe. I've always lived in Europe, but I started my business in African production. I hired many people in the beginning, and they really messed up the business. Eventually, I remembered a guy who used to be very, very honest, and I trained him. It took me quite a bit of time to train him, but the difference between him and everybody else is that he was willing to learn, and he was really willing to commit, because he hadn't had a good education, but he could learn these things. And this is what I taught him how to do. And this is what I want, like when you're working on your business, you're going to have to think about that very, very clearly. Finally, one of the key areas that many people don't really pay attention to as an entrepreneur is taking care of yourself. Just giving an example of myself, I take care of myself. I meditate, I pray, I work out, and in physical activity, I run, I do rope jumping, I play tennis, I do rebounding, I do other things, like horse riding. And physical activity helps you to keep your mind active. It keeps your mind active. It allows you to detach in the amount of time that actually regenerates your mental energy. And that's why I really think that it's very important for you to make sure that you include physical activity in your business growth. And this is a discipline that must be integrated right from the beginning. So, what are you going to take away from joining this global agri-food entrepreneurship? You're going to have a tested, profit-focused business model that actually works. Because what I'm teaching you here, what I'll be coaching you and hand-holding you on is based on real experience. 27 years of experience. I have done different products. I've worked, in Africa, with Africa, in Europe, with European importers, with the United States. I've done my own brand. I have exported bulk products, fresh products. So I don't think that there's an area which I have not yet touched. That means I have been through all sorts of compliance and confronted different situations. I have also learned how to respond to them. So this is what I'm bringing to you now, a tested, profit-focused business model that actually works. Then the business model is also going to be an investor-ready business model, business plan that is going to open doors for you. If you go in front of an investor with a plan that's not completely ready, they ask you some questions and you do not know how to answer, that is already having your business plan going right in the bin. And you're going to also have knowledge about how to develop complete legal protection and compliance knowledge. Legal protection in your business is key to your success because you do not know where a problem is going to pop up from. And compliance is especially important to meet the food safety standards of your market, to make sure that you're responding to all the regulatory issues is key to your success because that's part of doing business. And then you will also be able to take away, specific multiple funding strategies from debt, equity, grants, and crowdfunding, and so many other types of funding possibilities that are actually available in the market. You will also have a marketing and brand strategy that actually sells. Many people do have sometimes sales strategy, marketing strategies, but they still fail to get their products outside to the market. And why is that? I'll be revealing to you that secret, which is the most important part of your business, because your business is meant to sell. Your products have to be sold. You don't expect just to promote them on social media and expect people to buy. Yes, there are some products that sell very well on social media, but you have to actually sell them. And this is the difference that I'll be showing you. You will be developing skills to build and lead your team. CEOs and founders sometimes tend to be very egocentric, and they tend to not to let's say dictate from above, not to listen to the team around them. I'm going to teach you how to become an effective leader to the extent that you will not even need to work because your team will own so much the brand. They will own the business so much that you don't need to do anything at all. Well, you need to do something, but your work will be a lot reduced if you have a team that actually owns the business. They feel part of it. They are part of a family. I have always treated my team with such love, with such care. When somebody has a problem, I'm always there standing for them. Maybe there's a marriage in the family, there's a funeral in the family, somebody's sick or somebody's child is sick. So it's so important to be a CEO or a leader who knows how to take care of of the people. And of course, one of the most important key takeaways is going to be that you're going to have strong tools for sustainable long-term scaling. When I build business with you, we have to stagger it in three layers: short term, medium, and long term. There's a reason for why we do that, because in the short term, you really have to show proof of concept. And then after that, you start growth, and growth means you need more money. There's a lot of pains with growth, and you will have all of those tools for scaling, and literally you'll be able to run for the long term on your own. And finally, most important of all is personal resilience as an entrepreneur. It's one of the key areas. You've got to be resilient. You just have to have your vision so strong enough, anchored in values and anchored in things that bring, that bring a lot to the community. So your values, the reasons why you decide to start the business, that vision has to be extremely, extremely clear. And I'm bringing so many years of experience. I am a business person. I have won several awards. I've been on main media and so on, and I've really impacted on lives of so many entrepreneurs across Europe and across the United States and Africa. And I would like you to just give yourself this one shot. I'm sure that you're going to really enjoy this. And especially if you have a doubt, if you are second guessing yourself, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to come and talk to me. So there are two things that you can do here now. You can either register immediately for the course. It's a self-study course, and we shall be meeting once a week. Or you can book an intake call with me if you intend to go on a one-to-one coaching, which it will be hand-holding for either 3 months or 6 months, depending on what you decide to do. I therefore encourage you to do this. It's going to change your life. If you've ever dreamt of being an entrepreneur, this is the occasion for you. And I have been there before. I'm going to teach you exactly what no coach, no entrepreneur wants to reveal to you. And I think this is where many people go wrong, because they don't want to reveal to new entrepreneurs what they have actually done to succeed. They don't want to reveal the secrets, the real secrets of success. This is what you're going to be getting from this course. So I thank you so much for coming today and for listening to this presentation. I want to see you very soon. Bye-bye.